It's whispered softly and gently into your ears and into your soul. And he tells you it's okay. And he says it's just this one thing. You're just going to get it done, get it over with. And then he tells you a promise. He promises you all these dreams that you have in your heart. And that's how Satan sells a sin. And that's how he sells abortion. He tells a woman that all you have to do is you're just going to go to this clinic, just going to get it over with, you know. And then you're going to, that guy, he's going to stay with you. That boyfriend or the guy, whoever he is, he's going to marry you, sweep you off your feet.
Jimmy on a beat, boy.
Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Yeah, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Yeah, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, okie dokie, boomer. BOOMER, please your dusty mood, don't vibe with me. You are old and so therefore I must say 10 for dinosaur. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Okie dokie, boomer.
Okie dokie, boomer. Welcome to Saturday night, and we are in the trailer park. This is Beauty and the Boomer, and of course, I am Chanda-Masta, the Trailer Park Pundit. Sadly, tonight we are flying solo, but that's okay. We're gonna have a blast. I've forced us to take the night off. Of course, Boomer needs some downtime. He's okay, guys. He's fine. He needs to rest, and once he's rested, he'll be back in the chair with me. But till then, can you freaking believe it? I'm here engineering Beauty and the Boomer all by myself. We're calling it Beauty in the Trailer Park. It is limited edition because Oz will be back. And so, you know what I did? I was like, I got to come up with something for Saturday night. The Patreons, I didn't want to leave everybody hanging. 3.5 years, you guys show up every Saturday night, so I'm going to show up. And I was like, what do I do? What do I do? I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go find an old Beauty and the Boomer deck because Oz and I make new decks occasionally, like every 6 months or something. They just get so big and there's so much graphics that have built up on them that we'll abandon them and get a new one. So I went and found one of the old ones. And there's such funny shit on there. Oh my gosh. Some of the graphics and refaces that we've done. You just saw Oz, right? Your message from Oz Taylor Green. I love Oz Taylor Green. How's the chats doing? I saw you guys pour it in. Love it. I you know what, guys? I can't believe I'm here just thinking about my evolution and how I got in this chair to sit here and talk to all of you. It's insane. My mind is blown over where the last 10 years have taken me. And to know that I can handle technology, that I have a full studio now and I can do this. I'm not going to stop doing it till they take me off the air. So that's where we're at. I got to mute this. We are on Kick tonight. Hey, Kick, what's up? We're going to have a Kick in here. Kick's a new platform, guys. I don't know. I just got signed up over there, but we're getting a lot of stops over there, and we really appreciate that. So if you stop by Kick, make sure you follow Beauty and the Boomer and Trailer Park Pundit. You know, it's kind of hard to follow all of our different projects and all of our different channels. Of course, we started out as Roar, and then we started out as Uphill, but we went to Roar. So be sure you're following Roar and all of its channels. And then I have my own channels, Trailer Park Pundit. And then, of course, we have Beauty and the Boomer channels. So depending on what platform we're on, I know it's a cluster F. I'm sorry. It's just the way we've evolved. What can I say? So I tell you guys every day, I've got a big deck. I've got the biggest deck I've ever seen in my life tonight. Oz and I do a 75 slide deck every Saturday night for you guys. And as long as we keep the pace, it's not a problem. Sometimes we get behind and stuff gets cut. But I think tonight we're going to make it because a lot of it's funny stories, a lot of it's graphics, but a lot of it is scarier than fuck because these lunatics out there have lost their goddamn minds. They've lost their minds. we just don't even give a shit about human rights at all anymore, but we know that. So we're going to talk about that. And we got so much on the deck. So we're just going to get started. But I want to shout the chats out because we always shout the chats out first. Gosh, it's so... Well, let's do YouTubes first. There's multiple YouTubes up right now, and I think Twitch runs through this chat. So Deborah, hi Deborah. Our Patreons, I'm so sorry I didn't get an email out to you. I try every Saturday night to email, and I will get this posted, but I was just a little overwhelmed tonight since I'm in the driver's seat. Barbara, hi Barbara. Becca C, good to see you. Gamer, you were hanging out over at that Richie live today. Yona, I saw Yona over there too. God, Richie's been killing it lately, and I even brought a Richie clip for tonight, so we will talk about Richie. Pyramid 7, hi. Barbara, Rick, hi Rick. Midnight Karma. Cold Fusion Gaming. Deborah, you guys were chatting it up. Jilly, hi Kyle. Anthony, we got multiple Anthonys, so to all of the Anthonys, we adore you. Who else is in here? I should have turned Vic, Oz is going to post this on Thurston Community Media, so we will be up as normal. No stress there. If I go a little over, we'll get it cut. So no worries. So everybody, Steve, hey Steve, what's up? And let me shout out the Rokfin. We're still growing on Rokfin. Oh my gosh, we are close to hitting 15,000 on the Rokfin. And it just shows me where we could be if we weren't shadow banned and censored, because the Rokfin has just grown organically on its own, right? It makes me sad though. Fred Edward, thank you so much for putting all the tweets out there and being an amazing mod. Jim, hey John. Crone of Heresy. Hey Crone. It's jumping on me. The Rokfin, stop jumping. Aram, hi Aram. How you doing tonight? Ronnie Graham. Yona killing it with the local yokels this week. I aired it, I think, on Monday's show. So heartbreaking footage of a homelessness, and the song was powerful. And if you haven't checked it out, check out DJ Yona's work. He does amazing artistic display of problems and issues, and I think it's so smart when we do that. Miguel H was first in the door. Dirt Diggler, he was right after him. And Kate, oh, I can't attend the live show. I'm so sad I'll miss the live. That's okay, Kate. It's okay. We miss you, but I appreciate you have a life. I love hanging out with you guys on a Saturday night, but if I had a chance to go out, I might blow you guys off for a night. I don't know, maybe. Cynic Girl's in the house. Hi Cynic. Okay, we got a big show. Let's get moving. Oh, and hold on. Dingo's hanging out over on the Kick, and so is Outsell. Welcome, Outsell. If you're new to the channel, this is us, and you'll get to see what we're all about. And let me check to make sure that the Rumble is doing good. The Rumble. Okay, Rumble's good and live. I don't know. Lately, Rumble's been weird. We get more after views, like people watch after, not so much live, but it is what it is. Okay, let's get this deck up here and see what we've got. It's a big one. Okay, so old graphics. We're going to see a lot of old graphics tonight. Of course, Oz and I found Reface in about 2020, I think, and it was on. You were fair game if you were in our stratosphere. We refaced you. And, oh my gosh, there's been so many good refaces over the years, and there'll be some on here tonight. I did spoof a couple of our friends in independent media, but not too many, because we used to have this it was like initiation when you came on any of our shows, like the dive. We would just go crazy with the refaces. So there's some funny ones out there. And to our Patreons, we love you guys. Thank you so much. This doesn't happen without you and your support, because we know they try to kill independent media every which way they can, and you guys keep us alive, and they can't do anything about that. So you are the power, and you are the media. Thank you so much. And if you want to join our big boomers, they get a card that gets played during the end credit song every Saturday night. So hey, reach out to me if you are a Patreon, you have a card, you don't like it, you need it changed, you don't have a card yet. Let me know, because we want you guys. We want to, inspire others to support independent media. And I think that that's what we do when, you know, we support each other. So thank you to them. And if you want to help us out, PayPal has been the best so far. Did I tell you guys GoFundMe shut me down this week? Whatever. I knew it was coming. I did. Everybody, last time we went to DC, everybody got shut down except for me. And I was just like, okay, cool. Well, they finally caught me. Damn it. I'm foiled again. So trying to duck and weave all of the censorship that's going on and the ways that they're crippling us. It's challenging at best, but pisses you off at worst. Okay, here we go. Hot summer nights. And that's our dog Sandy. Sandy hangs out on Saturday nights. You can guess where her name came from. Sandy. Of course it was Grease. I think this was something old that Oz had on the deck. Okay, this deck was originally from Hot Summer Nights last year. So this is a year-old deck. And some of these memes are out of date, but some of them are still right on frickin' point. And I think this was a TikTok that Oz brought last year.
It reminds me a lot of the flag waving and choreographed patriotism that we had back in Nazi Germany a half a century ago. The fact that we got a one-party system which is in control of all three branches of our government, lapdog media that's cranking out propaganda for the administration and make a Nazi blush. Other than that, we're doing pretty good.
If you ask me, one of the illnesses is that there's too much money being spent on military, and there should be more spent on education,
Absolutely.
welfare, young people, the children, the elderly.
Oh, I love that. What a great clip. I don't remember that. I don't remember us playing that, but that makes me sad. That was Chris Christopherson, Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, and Willie Nelson. Men in Black, man. I wear the Men in Black. This is from a holdover from a year ago. I did that. Remember when we were going around slapping I did that stickers on everything? We need to be doing that with everything that he is absolutely breaking in the fucking world. Maybe we could stick I did that on his cluster bombs, but we'll get there. We'll talk about it. And I'm sure that price there, that was a year ago. I'm sure it's at least another $50 on top of that would be my guess. Okay, Oz, why? Why do you do this to me? Oh, it's so vomiting. Oh, it's so vomit worthy. Of course, this is our rep, Adam Smith, right? Is that who it is? Yes, that's who it is. Hanging out with Mayo Pete. Oh, yeah. Good guys. Where'd Oz's... Oh, I had Oz's comment on here. It disappeared. Damn it. Did you take it off there, Oz? What did you say? Oz said something really funny, though. Like, a photo shoot with Mayor Pete's not a good look or something like that. You fucking warmongers. Yeah, I'm sad. I don't know where that went. I had the tweet on it and it disappeared. I moved stuff around, so it's probably sitting on another slide buried under something. So I call this the Democrats' 4th of July. So the Democrats' 4th of July probably wasn't as happy as the rest of ours. It was Rick Larson. That's right. Well, Adams is just as bad, right? Yeah. Rick Larson is the rep a couple of districts away from mine. And during the 2016 election, he literally got on Facebook and we were putting pressure on the superdelegates, and he was a superdelegate, to vote for Bernie Sanders because they were diehard Clinton supporters. You know, at every event that we went to, they pretty much, he literally went on Facebook and told his constituents who asked him to change his superdelegate pledge to Bernie Sanders to fuck off. That was crazy to me. I'll never forget that, because that was the first time I saw a public official just blatantly in your face, fuck you, I don't care what you say. I mean, and we now know why that happened, right? The Hillary boot camp in August of 2015, when they got all the superdelegates together, they had a superdelegate boot camp, and yeah, long before any of us Bernie peeps came along, they had a plan in place to make sure that we couldn't ask them to switch superdelegates. So I call this 4th of July, Dems 4th of July. So let's check it out. This is the first one.
Back in January, you also had a massive grounding of flights. Why does it seem so chaotic?
We had a hard few days with severe weather at the beginning of the week, and that definitely put enormous pressure on the system. Now, the good news is, on Friday, we saw, according to TSA, a record number of airline passengers, probably the most ever in America. And we saw those cancellation rates stay low. Right now, we're below 2%, but they really shot up at the first part of the week, largely because of severe weather hitting some of our key hubs. I think most passengers understand that no one can control the weather, but I think most passengers understand that no one can control
somebody
the weather.
can control the
really?
weather. Yeah. What? Geoengineering? Blocking the sun to limit global warming? No way.
Not a joke.
No one can control the weather.
Our arrows will blot out the sun.
Then we will fight in the shade.
These people are crazy.
These people are crazy. They are flat fucking crazy. Yeah, he's crazy. Mayo Pete. And of course, this is one of my favorite refaces. There's Como on his 4th of July party. Como. And of course, I don't know what that reface of Oz is, but I've always liked it. He's always hated it. There's a lot of refaces on this deck that I'm sure Oz hates, and there's a few I don't like, so we'll be okay. Angry Mario, yes, Angry Mario. So he wasn't the only one who was taking strife over 4th of July because of what he's supposed to be in charge of, right? So we have Governor Gavin Newsom losing his shit because they banned fireworks in California, and yeah, it didn't go over very well. This is America. Nice try.
And so we have worked with those counties, the 19 counties that are on our mandatory closure list, and we have made it clear privately. Now we're making it more abundantly clear publicly that we believe that they should consider canceling some of their fireworks shows and presentations.
Move this man!
And so this is about keeping you safe, about keeping them safe, your friends, neighbors, and family members, and moreover, just making sure that we mitigate the spread and don't do harm and damage the lives of those that we love.
3 days later.
And breaking news, we've been watching illegal fireworks going off across Southern California. You have been hearing them all night long since about 8 o'clock or earlier, and these aren't safe and sane. We've now learned LAPD alone has received more than 1,000 complaint reports.
More than 1,000 complaint reports.
Where'd you spot him? Fast as we can, ma'am. Police, I know, a skeleton. Keep calm. Turn off all the lights. Make sure the doors are locked. Hello, police.
And police are saying they're doing their best to respond to all of the calls, but as you can imagine, the numbers are just overwhelming.
So this is about keeping you safe, about keeping them safe, your friends, neighbors, and family members.
The big one.
Oh, Lord! Lord, Jesus! Oh, Lord! Oh, Jesus! What you doing, Terry?
Well, that's how it went in California for 4th of July. But we're not done there because I had to give you one more Dim's perspective of 4th of July this year. And of course, I couldn't leave out Joy Reid. And she's scared to go outside.
Here we go!
I have to say, I did not go out on July 4th and would not. The idea of going to a mass gathering, a parade, or a big fireworks thing outside seems insane to me, to be blunt, in America.
Sell that fear.
Call it what it is.
Because America is awash with guns, and now people don't just have them, they seem to want to shoot people with them and use them for whatever, you know? What do you think has changed in this country, which has always had a lot of guns, in the recent years to make it a shooting gallery?
That is the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Over $1.2 billion.
I spoke too soon.
The idea of going to a mass gathering, a parade, or a big fireworks thing outside seems insane to me, to be blunt, in America.
You being a broadcast journalist on a major network seems insane to me, but here we are, and she's just selling fear. And yeah, fireworks. I don't like fireworks either, right? I mean, I went and did some with the grandkids just because that seems like a rite of passage. I did it. My kids did it. You know, I want them to have a little bit of fun. Of course, safe and sane ones. But in light of, I don't know, with the chemtrailing that goes on and the, you know, they admit that they're injecting the stratosphere, which is ultimately falling down on our plants and our trees, which is having an effect on their root systems at best and their leaves. I mean, they're killing the trees. So yes, there's a lot of tinder out there. But I mean, really, are you going to be able to shut down? Did they send 1,000 cops out that night? I mean, they have to be a little bit more realistic about it. Maybe, you know, I don't know. But and then for her to be out there telling everybody, everybody's got a gun. Oh my God, don't go out. Don't go out. What the fuck? That's just fear-mongering. That's just straight up fear-mongering. That's all she is. I love this reface of Oz. Oz, that's a good reface. You must have made that one. I don't know who you're supposed to be, but it's a good one. Let's talk about the blow in the White House. So, Dad, big guy, I really need to go and powder my nose. Then go use the Oval Office, son. Yeah. And so the Biden crack torch has been changed to a Biden razor blade with a pile of coke. So, yeah, that's where we're at right now. It's totally where we're at. And I didn't bring all the clips, but CNN and, you know, MSNBC, they just think that this is normal and fine. Like, are you serious? Coke in the White House? That's totally normal. Like, that's not a big deal. Maybe, I guess. I mean, if you look at who's been in the White House over the last fucking 30, 40 years, okay, I buy it. But yeah, let's hear an update.
And turning to some breaking news, we have just learned that a formal lab has confirmed the suspicion that that white powdery substance found in the West Wing on Sunday was in fact positive for cocaine. The discovery led to a brief evacuation of the White House Sunday night. Joining us now is NBC White House correspondent Mike Memoli. So, Mike, where do things stand now? This is so unusual. You and I have covered the White House for years. I can't even fathom anything like this having been found before in the West Wing, and I go back to the 70s at the White House.
Are they going to prosecute whoever brought it into the building? Well, no, because
if the Secret Service determines who brought the cocaine into the White House, does the White House support the prosecution of this individual?
I'm just not going to get into hypotheticals from here. Let the Secret Service do their job. It's under their purview. We are confident that they'll get to the bottom of it. I'm just not going to get ahead of this right this time.
I'll take that as a no.
There you go. And Mr. Cocaine Bear Jr. himself, get in line. Yeah, get in line. This is more like it. It is reported that Hunter was at the White House by the Oval Office on Friday before this was found. Of course, they weren't there for the 4th of July weekend, but yeah, not shocking that they're not going to do anything about it. The man who drafted and passed the crime bill that has put tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people in fucking prison. No, his son's not going to be held accountable because there is rules for thee, not for me. And we have a 2-tier justice system in this country. Anyways, if he did get in trouble, daddy would just buy his way out. That's how it goes. But you get busted with, you know, minor drugs. How many people's lives have been ruined? And I know people that have been ruined because they got busted with a joint or they got busted with an ounce of weed, you know? I had one of my exes did 2 fucking years in Louisiana, hard time for a fucking joint, And now they have medical in Louisiana from what I hear. So that's plus, but you know, that snowballed into not being able to get jobs and not being able to get a house and, you know, all these things that he had to go through. And so many people in our country are still dealing with the fallout of that fucking bill. But, you know, Biden's just oblivious to it. And no, Biden's a good boy, or I mean, Hunter's a good boy, right? So maybe it's not Hunter's though. When was the last time Zelensky stopped by? Because we know he's a cokehead too, right? But maybe it's somebody else's. Oh, could it be? There's no telling where the cocaine came from. Every room in the White House literally has a fucking camera in it. Every single room. Every room. And you can't tell me that Secret Service, NSA, freaking CIA, FBI, none of them can like track the data and the fucking who's coming and going in that area. Oh, come on. You can't pull anything off in this country anymore crime-wise without, you giving yourself away. So they don't want us to know who it is. I honestly think that this was a psych op anyways. I think they planted this fucking story over the weekend just to distract from their cluster munitions that they want to fucking drop all over Ukraine. And what other bullshit were they trying to cover up this week? That's what you have to go look at, why would they release this story? Why did they accidentally have it go out over the Secret Service radio? So then the news reporters there in the White House had to report on it. It's just bullshit. Everything is bullshit. Nothing we hear is real. Nothing we see is real. It's 100% fucking bullshit. We the rest are 100% political. Uncle Warren's in the house. 100 fucking percent. Yes, 100 fucking percent. And they're still doing it. I saw a report that federal arrests for marijuana have gone up like 5% or something. No, 25% under fucking Biden. 25%. Why? We're legalizing from state to state. More states are coming on board. I don't understand what the fuck the Fed thinks they're doing. But the DA's got to get paid, guys. So, they're not getting enough money running what they're running across the fucking border. Let's hear from Jamie Spears on this. JP, right? Yeah, I'm so stoned tonight. And I have to engineer, so bear with me, guys. We'll get there.
Wait, where did that go? I think I left something at the White House. I think Hunter will find it for me. He's got a knack for these things. Good evening and happy fear-mongering to you. Tonight's top stories. A court rules that the Biden administration violating the First Amendment is a violation of the First Amendment? Apparently, and the Supreme Court is discriminating against affirmative action. America's favorite ice cream, Beta Ben & Jerry's, Bud Lights themselves while only insulting everyone in America. And Facebook launches its next product that no one will be interested in. It's called Threads. All this and more. But first, cocaine has been found at the White House. Officials found a bag of cocaine in the West Wing of the White House on Sunday. And nobody knows whose it is. And rumor has it that world-renowned connoisseur of crack cocaine, Hunter Biden, was just in the West Wing on Friday. So we repeat, nobody knows whose it is. There is speculation that if Hunter hadn't been grazing in the area, a much larger quantity likely would have been found. But cocaine at the White House? It is almost incomprehensible to consider that people who run the country as if they're high on drugs all the time might be getting high on drugs. We'll keep you posted on the latest developments of the authorities' search to make sure that the culprit is never found. Can you book me a trip back to the White House? And what did President Trump have to say about the definitely not Biden's blow being found? In a post on his Truth Social network, number 45 said, "Does anybody really believe that the cocaine found in the West Wing of the White House, very close to the Oval Office, is for the use of anyone other than Hunter and Joe Biden? But watch, the fake news media will soon start saying that the amount found was very small and it wasn't really cocaine, but rather ground up aspirin, and the story will vanish." Has deranged Jack Smith, the crazy Trump-hating special prosecutor, been seen in the area of cocaine? He looks like a crackhead to me. Once again, President Trump is spouting off lies. And in other news, we've received reports that the amount of cocaine found was very small and likely wasn't really cocaine, but rather ground up aspirin.
Ground up aspirin. Of course, that's what it is now. And yeah, I see a lot of back and forth about, I love Coke. I've never done Coke. I'm just going to say, yeah, I tried Coke, but I'm from the trailer park. We do meth where I come from. And that's not even fucking comparable. Coke is like a little pat on the head compared to methamphetamine. So yeah, Coke's too expensive for the trailer park. You got to have a lot of it, and your tolerance builds up too fast. And then when you crash, the cocaine blues, they will kick your ever living butt. So I don't advise it at all. But I'm saying, yeah, it happened. It happened many years ago. I'm too old for that shit now. You guys know I can't even drink a half a cup of coffee without freaking out. Could you imagine? My heart would explode. I'd literally be dead. So this tweet didn't last very long. For some reason, the NSA/CSS took it down. But before they took it down, they said, "Happy birthday at the Justice Department, and thank you for 153 years of federal law enforcement." Edward Snowden said, "Jesus Christ." Yeah, Jesus Christ is right. They must have got a lot of hate, because when I went to click on that to read all the hate, sorry, this tweet no longer exists. I wonder why. Keep giving them hell, guys. That's the only thing we got, right? It feels like these are the only avenues we have. Just keep giving them hell. Keep calling them out. I see you all out there on Twitter, in Facebook, wherever you're posting, just tearing them down. I love the comment sections of a stupid, hypocritical post from any of these asshats. You know, the Democrats, the government, it don't matter. Publications. You all go in and burn them down with the truth. And that's, I feel like, the only thing we have left anymore, right? Because we're just peasants. Okay, here's your first United spot of the night. I think there's 2 United spots on the deck, but first one, this is called Clueless.
Ladies and gentlemen, I called you here today because we found coke in the White House.
Whoa. I wonder whose it is.
We don't know yet, but the FBI always gets its man.
Well, it don't belong to anybody in this room. We're all law-abiding citizens. It's probably Donald Jr.'s.
Now, hold on a second. Was it Diet Coke?
Yeah, because if it's Diet Coke, then that Coke belongs to only one man. Donald Trump!
Oh my gosh, I almost just died.
So was it Diet Coke or regular Coke?
It's just regular Coke.
Well, that's it then. It's Don Jr.'s. I just solved the case.
OMG, I totally knew it was Don Jr. all along. He totally wants to date me.
I knew it was him too.
Me too.
The whistleblower told me.
Told me too.
He said it was Russian Coke.
Bingo.
Look, guys, I know Donald Jr. is guilty too, but I still have to investigate this.
Hey! We don't pay you to investigate us! We pay you to investigate, not us!
Yeah, we tell you who to investigate.
That's right.
You work for us.
Yeah, and there's really nothing to investigate anyways.
The cameras don't even work in the White House, so case closed. It was Donald Jr.
Yeah, go arrest Donald Trump Jr.
I agree. Donald Trump Jr. is a criminal. He belongs in prison with his father.
I mean, what kind of guy just leaves his Coke in the White House, bro? It just makes me so angry.
Leaving your Coke at the White House? That's like leaving your laptop at the repair shop.
That's like deleting 33,000 emails with a hammer. Yeah, it's like flying on Epstein's private jet 26 times.
It's like not knowing what pasta and hot dogs mean.
It's like not knowing what a garbage disposal is. It's like fuck way to the
top. We don't need people like that on the streets.
I know whose Coke it is.
Hey, Dad, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
You want me to tickle your butt crack while you go, honey?
So? Who left your Coke in the White House? Please say Don Jr. Please say Don Jr. Please say Don Jr.
It was Don Jr. in the West Wing with the $100 bill. I knew it.
Yay!
Justice has been served.
Yeah, it was Don Jr. in the West Wing with the $100 bill. That's better than the old food stamps we used back in the day in the trailer park. And that is no joke either. United Spot, they're great. If you haven't followed United Spot, I know most of you have, but for the new watchers, please go follow United Spot. They've been making us laugh for over 3 years now. Okay, let's stop laughing and get serious for a while. I hate when we have to get serious. Well, this isn't serious. Did you see this shit today? President Biden tweeted out today, on my watch, healthcare is a right, not a privilege in this country. As if. And, of course, it got fact checked. I'm one of those community fact checkers out there. And I always call bullshit. And I called bullshit on this and said, it says Joe Biden has never publicly supported universal health care or Medicare for all. He has suggested he would veto bills that implement such systems. He stated policy goals is affordable healthcare achieved by expanding existing programs like the ACA and Medicare. There you go. So he got his ass fact checked on that one today, as well as he should. Let's check out what is the free faces. Oh, it's Grease. Yes, Oz and I killing it on Grease. And then, of course, Gone with the Wind. I make a good Scarlet. Yes, I do. Sandy is fun, too. Sandy was fun. We actually had a Grease night. I think we've had a couple of Grease nights where we get all dressed up and play all the songs, but YouTube just keeps hitting us with copyright so bad that we had to quit doing those type of shows. So that's why we don't do dance offs anymore. We used to do so many segments that you guys love that YouTube just spanks us for. And sadly, we try to fix it and do other stuff. Okay, let's talk about Know Your Biden. Do you know all the terrible shit Biden's done out there? I know you guys do. You guys do. Dingo, you're everywhere. Oh my gosh, you're freaking me out, man. Hey, Zox. What's up, Zox? Okay. Let me clear my throat and we will talk about Biden. So, Know Your Biden. Biden opposes Medicare for all, opposes legal marijuana, supports the death penalty, and wrote the 1994 crime bill, voted for DOMA, voted for NAFTA, voted for the Iraq war, voted for a Patriot Act, voted to advance bills to kill Roe v. Wade, voted for 1986, the Arm Owners Protection Act, right-wing sexual peas, Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, wow, strongly opposed busing, one of the most effective racial justice programs in U.S. history, actively admiring and seeking support from segregationists in the Senate to support his anti-busing legislation, supporting Republicans like Rep. Fred Upton of Michigan, potentially changing the outcome of the race in 2018, supporting cuts to Social Security and Medicare. That's right, I said Medicare. Diminishing the student debt crisis, climate crisis, and other issues for young voters. Passes opposition to abortion and gay rights, like voting for the Defense of Marriage Act. Oh, yeah, they all did that. And voted for the Iraq War and other wasteful military inventions. Oh, but wait, there's more. There's more, so much more. Pushing the 2005 bankruptcy bill, which made medical and student debt harder to get rid of, and well as undermining regulations helpful to poor folks. Oh, no way. He voted for a constitutional amendment that allowed individual states to overturn Roe v. Wade. His vote opposed to schools busing for desegregation in the 1970s. Yeah, we already had that. He voted for a measure aimed at outlawing gay marriage. Yeah, we already had that one too. He voted for deregulating the banks. Yeah, they all did that. Thanks, Obama. He voted against regulations of credit card companies, one of which just happened to be the largest single donor. Oh, yeah, because of where he's from. That's right. He chaired the 1991 Clarence Thomas hearings of sexual harassment allegations raised by Anita Hill, pretty much called her a liar. He voted for the crime legislation, helping fuel an explosion in prison population. That's true. He voted for Iraq war. He voted for the war on drugs. He supported the TPP. And after receiving donations from Coca-Cola, Biden co-sponsored legislation that helped the soft drink industry skirt antitrust laws. Let's give it a hand for the total criminal. And that is who the Dems want to re-elect, right? I think it's just good to remember all the terrible shit he does, right? I think that's been bouncing deck from deck all week, so we shall see. Oh, they're so terrible. But we can't just say it's Democrats now, can we? Not when we have little lunatics like this guy running around, Lindsey Graham. So I will be working with the Republicans and Democrats in the Senate to pass a resolution urging the administration of Ukraine into NATO. The best way to prevent future wars and promote peace is to create security guarantees that make aggressor nations think twice before starting a war. And yeah, Oz Boomer got it right. Resign now. Resign now. They need. All of them need to go. They all need impeached. They all need to resign. Every single one of them. It's the lifeboat, guys. If we had a sinking boat and every single one of them was on it, who would you save? Not a damn one of them. I wouldn't save. There isn't one worth saving, right? The squad has gotten bigger. Do you see the squad's doubled? But what do? They march around sticking up for Biden and endorsing his ass. I mean, we've had Bernie and AOC endorse, right? Oh, and we're going to get to her endorsement. I think we've got some funny stuff on the deck over her, but so gross. It's so gross. So we need a hashtag. Hashtag impeach Biden now. It's on us, guys. We have got to start getting this shit trending. We have to start getting it into the minds of people. So hashtag impeach Biden now. Every time you tweet out something about that asshat, please, let's make this a thing. And I know I'm not the only one who's fed up. We don't want to go to war. We don't want to get blown up. We're already there. We want to help the people in our country. We want to take care of the houseless and those who are hungry, but no mention of them. No, it's all about Ukraine. And it's been that way for over a year now. Hey, zombie, welcome. Welcome to the show. Okay, here we go. Let's hear from the Pentagon on these cluster munitions, right? We've got to do something about this because these assholes say stupid shit like this. And I'm sure you guys have seen this clip, but oh my God. So this is the spokesman for the Pentagon. This is BBC News. I'll probably take a hit for it, but suck it, BBC.
We're working with Ukraine to minimize the risks associated with the decision. The Ukrainian government has offered us assurances in writing on the responsible use of DPICMs, including that they will not use the rounds in civilian populated urban environments, and that they will record where they use these rounds, which will simplify later demining efforts. Ukraine also has committed to post-conflict demining efforts to mitigate any potential harm to civilians. The United States has already invested more than $95 million in Ukraine's demining activities, and we will provide more support to help Ukraine mitigate the impacts of cluster munition use by both sides in this conflict.
Disgusting, but it got worse. It got worse. That was the Pentagon's idiot guy, and now we've got the White House idiot guy. Who is this? I forget his name. I always bag on him too. I can't remember his name, but it'll probably say it across the bottom. So this is a tweet from Oz. Let's see, what does it say? The land of Oz. This is a war crime. Impeach the old fool now. In Irish dim song says, I honestly think it's time. Enough is enough. When are people going to wake up? And we see Dims out there losing their shit over this, right? Barbara Lee, I'm absolutely shocked and just completely floored by this. Hello, where were you when you were voting for this fucking shit? You've been voting for this. You've been blindly voting for it. All of the Dems, all of the so-called progressives had just been blindly voting our way right down here. And we screamed and we told you where we would end up. And this is exactly where we would end up. And here we are, right? And no, they're not just going to drop a nuke anywhere. No, they got to slowly bleed us and they got to slowly kill the people of this country, right? That's why they call it the meat grinder. And I've got an article we're going to look at here in a second at some numbers because this is fucking insane. These things are a fucking joke. And the fact that we're dumping them on civilians is heart-wrenching. And every American should be outraged. But let's hear from the White House.
Is that it is going to use these in a very careful way that is aimed at minimizing any risk to civilians. And by the way, Ukraine, the democratically elected government of Ukraine, has every incentive to minimize risk to civilians because it's their citizens, it's Ukrainians who they are trying to protect and defend. This is not Ukraine taking these and going and using them in the Middle East or in Southeast Asia or in some faraway land. They're using them on their territory to defend their territory.
How is it defending your fucking territory? Blowing up your own damn people. I'm confused about that. I don't think he understands how it is either. Let's see. This is from Irish Dim Sung. Of course, that's Suzanne Murphy. No, it must not be accepted. If we don't start saying no now, there'll be no opportunity to later. The FFs at the NZPP who call out So now the war beast wants to escalate and keep the money machine rolling. And that's what it comes down to, right? The money that they're making for all of this crap and fucking weaponry that we're sending there. So excellent point. We can't now. We've got to start standing up and screaming and saying, no, enough. It was enough when you pulled the Patriot Act on our asses. It was enough when you got the NSA or built the NSA and started spying on fucking all of us. It's enough when you went in and you killed children in 7 different fucking countries. Enough of us being the fucking world bullies. Enough. And you know what? The world has had enough. If you haven't noticed, they're starting to pack up together, and they're looking at us like, you motherfuckers have done this to all of us. And we're gonna be feeling the wrath of that very shortly. And we have crops in this country failing right now in the United States. The wheat crop looks like is a nightmare this year. We need other countries, and we live globally, whether people like it or not. We have already established this, and they're just going to cut us off. We're going to feel the repercussions of sanctions. I feel like tenfold back for everything we've fucking done, right? As well as we should. So Democrats denounce Biden's decision to send cluster munitions to Ukraine. Some lawmakers question how the United States could maintain the moral high ground while supplying Ukraine weapons that could harm civilians. Republicans cheer on the move. Of course they do. And I grabbed one quote out of the article, but I have the full article. And it says, I challenge the notion that we should employ the same tactics Russia is using, blurring the lines of moral high grounds. Yeah, because you guys have the moral high ground. Yeah, because you guys have the fucking moral high ground right now. So let's see. I'm going to bring this article in real fast. We'll take a look at it, because some of these numbers to me, if this is the same article, were shocking at how many of these are duds. Like, we're talking in like the 80 and 90 percentiles that they're duds, so they don't go off initially. And the amount of civilians that are killed by them. I heard a statistic today, like it's like 94% of these kill civilians. They're not killing soldiers. They're not killing anybody who is at war. So yeah, where was that? Where they were talking about, yeah, this is the right article. They were talking about how many of these are fucking duds. 1987 square meters, roughly a football field. So they blow up the size of roughly 4.5 football fields. So that's how much, area is blown up. Basic testing recently, they had a bad dud rate, but now the Pentagon is saying that they have a 2.35% dud rate now, which they just changed the number, right? Because the US government does not go out there and run tests on anything. The FDA, they never test shit. They just take their numbers from whatever agency or whatever industry that they're working with. That's who gives them their numbers. It's up to the industry to provide those numbers for the FDA, the whoever is doing the testing to push. And this is no different. These numbers come straight from probably Raytheon or, one of the weapons developers on this. And this is just more of a cash grab. And I've got a chart coming up for you guys that's going to blow your fucking mind. It literally shows you the wealth for the last 10 years. And it's mind blowing. It's a little bit older. I think we've run it before, but it's every time it just shocks me to see it visualized, the transfer of wealth up to, the global elites. And I think it's coming up soon. A couple of memes here. Got to bring my slide deck back in. There we go. I can't believe I actually can engineer. I'm proud of myself. Okay, let's check it out. Not a cell phone in sight, just people living in the moment. Yeah, sadly, this is going to be us sooner than we think. I think that's where else could we be going to? Where else could we be leading to? And so, what is this? Okay, this is the ICC. This is the International Criminal Court, which we're not a part of, right? We keep talking about treaties, right? These cluster munitions, they go against all of the treaties, all of them. But here's the thing. We don't sign treaties. And when we do in the United States, we don't fucking honor them. We have 250 years of fucking proof that we don't honor any kind of treaty that we fucking sign. So all these people out there, oh, it, breaks this treaty. Yeah, America's a fucking bully. For us to have, we don't have the moral high ground. We absolutely don't have the moral high ground. And not just in this either. I mean, our unwavering support of Israel is another just freaking gross. Yeah, Shanda is a good, thanks. Okay, so let's check it out. This is, we want the International Criminal Court to issue an arrest warrant against leaders of apartheid Israel who are supporting the massacre of the people of Palestine. And this is South Africa's foreign minister. So let's hear it.
Deepest condolences to the people of Palestine for the loss of lives. We have become tired at the abuse of the people of Palestine. South Africa is a long-standing partner in solidarity with the people of Palestine, given that they supported our own struggle for freedom. We believe they have a right to enjoy justice and freedom, and we call on the world to be as concerned about the deaths of Palestinians as they're concerned about deaths of any other nation in the world. So we really believe, we want to hear the ICC indicating that an arrest warrant would be issued for leaders of apartheid Israel, who are the ones who are supporting the massacre of the people of Palestine.
Amen, right? I mean, and that was at the BRICS, right? And did you check out yesterday morning? Convo Couch, Fee had Vanessa Beeley over there. Go over there, catch up on everything. I mean, they do such a great job. And Convo Couch for all of your foreign policy, to keep up on the BRICS. Go check out Convo Couch is what I suggest. But to see all of these countries coming together and to have the moral high ground, they actually have the moral fucking high ground. They are going to the International Criminal Court. They're saying this is wrong. BDS. And did you see the lead singer of Disturbed was out there screaming this week about fuck the BDS movement? I was like, oh my God. I will never listen to another Disturbed song again. Disgusting. He went after Roger Waters too. Just gross. Absolutely gross. So yes, BDS. And yeah, they're coming together. They're coming for us. And I can't say we didn't have it coming when we pulled this shit, right? Somalia, Libya, Iraq, Syria. Definitely throw Ukraine in there. There's so many more. I strongly condemn Russia's attack on the Ukraine. Yeah, that's us. The hypocrites of the world. That's who we are. This is not a very fun segment. Okay, let's get into RFK Jr. Let's talk about third-party candidates and what's going on. Because a few are coming, ones that came out strong are now not so strong, right? And ones that went out are getting a little bit weak. The New York Times, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is a leading vaccine skeptics and a purveyor of conspiracy theories who has leaned heavily on misinformation as he mounts his long shot 2024 campaign for the Democratic nomination. And here's 5 noteworthy falsehoods he promoted. Yeah, this shit came from the New York Times. A lot of smears this week. Boy, they've been busy with the smears in the mainstream media, right? They hit RFK Jr. constantly. I mean, just boom, 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 boom. But not only that, they went and shit on Cornell a little bit this week too. It was kind of quiet for a while. Nobody was even saying much about Cornell, and no, they're out there smearing him. And fuck off with your 5 noteworthy falsehoods. I'm sure every single one of them is probably fucking true, right? So I brought a little clip. I think Kate sent this to me this week. This is, and for whatever you guys think of Lex Freeman, I don't watch a lot of Lex Freeman. I mean, I have watched him here and there, depending on the guest. I want to hear a conversation. But this is RFK Jr. with Lex Freeman. I think at his house. This is at Bobby's house, I'm pretty sure. If you look in the background, that's not Lex's normal, his studio. I think this is at Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s house. So let's hear it.
You're running for president as a Democrat. What to you are the strongest values that represent the left-wing politics of this country?
I would say protection of the environment and the commons,
the air, the water, wildlife, fisheries, public lands, those assets that cannot be reduced to private property ownership, the landscapes, our Purple Mountain Majesty, the protection of the most vulnerable people in our society, people which would include children and minorities, the restoration of the middle class, and protection of labor, dignity, and decent pay for labor, bodily autonomy, a woman's right to choose, or an individual's right to endure unwanted medical procedures, peace. The Democrats have always been anti-war. The refusal to use fear as a governing tool. FDR said the only thing we have to fear is fear itself, because he recognized that tyrants and dictators could use fear to disable critical thinking and overwhelm the desire for personal liberty. The freedom of government from untoward influence by corrupt corporate power. The end of this corrupt merger of state and corporate power that is now, I think, dominating our democracy. It's what Eisenhower warned about when he warned against the emergence of the military-industrial complex. And then I prefer to talk about kind of the positive vision of what we should be doing in our country and globally, which is, I see that the corporations are commoditizing us, are poisoning our children, are strip mining the wealth from our middle class, and treating America as if it were a business in liquidation, converting assets to cash as quickly as possible, and creating or exacerbating this huge disparity in wealth in our country, which is eliminating the middle class and creating, kind of a Latin American style feudal model. There's these huge aggregations of wealth above and widespread poverty below. And that's a configuration that is too unstable to support democracy sustainably, and we're supposed to be modeling democracy, but we're losing it. And I think we ought to have a foreign policy that restores our moral authority around the world, restores America as the embodiment of moral authority, in which it was when my uncle was president.
That was a 2.5 hour long podcast. I did listen to it because, guys, I've got a lot of friends, family, people that I have worked with in the progressive movement for 10 years that are coming to me and they're in love with him. Like Bernie Sanders 2.0. I'm not even kidding. They're ready to hit the campaign trail. We've got to get involved with the local Dim so that way we can get him endorsements and, all of the things that we normally do for a candidate. And I'm just like, guys, I ain't going there this time. I'll tell you what I think and what his strong points are and what his weak points are, but I'm not getting behind any candidate till maybe the general, I can't do it. Bernie hurt me, man. He face planted so many of us fought so hard for Bernie, and he just turned his back on us. And I'm scared that Robert F. Kennedy, being a lifelong Democrat, growing up in the Camelot of the Democratic, that is the Democratic's golden boys, the Kennedys. And I just have a feeling that he'll do what he's supposed to do. He will endorse Biden at the end of the day, or whoever the Democrats decide is that. And if he does get the nominee, well, then it was the Democrats who chose him all along. But I don't know, with the amount of smear campaigns we see out there in the media on him, I don't know. I don't even know what to believe anymore, right? After living through what we just lived through, I don't even know what to believe anymore. So I ain't buying it. I will step back and keep my mouth shut, but I am paying attention to what they're saying and doing. Love this reface. Oz, of course, playing all three of the Gibbs brothers. So groovy. RFK Jr. has a bug a Volkswagen, van that he drives around. It probably only does 50 miles an hour, and he packs his dogs around in it. I kind of understand that. I have a lot of uncles like that. He reminds me of a lot of my uncles, kind of the same age. Okay, breaking news. Marianne Williamson keeps bleeding staff. What? Nobody likes her? 6 more depart in an internal feud. And of course, this dropped 2 days ago. Of course, a couple of weeks ago, we heard she had already gone through 3 campaign managers. Yeah, she's got a problem. And this doesn't look good for her. And when the Vanguard boys have to admit it doesn't look good, it's probably not good. Because remember, they were all partying and living it up together. Marianne Williamson, a bunch of shill media, and of course, Crystal and Kyle for Crystal and Kyle's wedding. So I'm not shocked at all. I know a lot of you guys are keeping up on what's going on in France. I am so glad to see you guys when I come into Richie's chat and you guys are there, or I come into Convo's chats, somebody who's talking about it. You guys get it. Hey, Gregory Walker. Shandog, I hate war, but support the Jews. It's like saying I hate gays, but love. Yeah, okay. I support Jews. Okay. You got me to say it on air. You feel good? Because I don't. Anyways, let's talk about France. Oh my gosh. Okay, I told you guys a week ago they were going to shut down the internet. We were going to stop seeing live feeds unless they were being pushed out by mainstream media. That's exactly what's happening. Of course, sadly, they've killed more. Thousands have been arrested. Hundreds are being sent to long-term jail time, 6 months in prison for burning a garbage can. And it seems to be, if you have money and you come from a nice part of Paris, then you get a slap on the wrist. If you're poor, ethnic, then you're going to go to jail. And this just feeds their private prison system too. Macron has to have be hand in hand with the police because he's such a fucking tyrant. So of course he keeps the police unions happy, and they're more than happy to go out there and do the beating down for him. And that's what we're seeing. They're trying to make it about just race. We all know better. We've been keeping an eye on France for years now. Of course, you had the yellow vests, you had the farmers. No, they're fucking fed up with your oligarchy bullshit, sucking the life out of them. Everything. Oh, take their retirement, take their homes, take their farms. How far do you think you can push people before they start to push back? And that's what's going on in France. So this is from Richie. I want to say this is from yesterday. Sadly, this is about the French police killed one dead and another in a coma. And I believe the one that was in a coma has actually passed on now. So fucking tyrants, man.
So I can't believe I'm saying this, but the French police have actually killed another young man. It's barely been a week that they shot dead the 17-year-old boy, Naël. And now they've killed another man, Mohamed, 27 years old. And he was killed in Marseille. Now, just to explain the situation to you, the official statement from the public prosecutor is that there was a violent shock or hit against his thorax, his chest, and he had cardiac arrest. The thing is, though, that what caused this violent shock? The police, they shot him with one of these things called a flashball, a rubber-coated metal bullet. Not exactly, but it's just the French version of it, okay? It's called flashball. It's marketed and sold as one of these non-lethal armaments. Yeah, apparently very lethal because he died. Now, this happened 4 days ago, but the scandal about this is just coming out now. Because I can guarantee you the last thing Macron and the French police want right now is that you find out, and the people in France find out, that the police have once again killed an innocent young man who was doing absolutely nothing. Just to be very clear, because you're going to have some morons with no empathy and brains who think that, well, he must have been doing something wrong. That's why the police killed him, right? Even if it was an accident. No, he was not. His wife and the public prosecutor have both said that he was not protesting, rioting, looting. The guy is the delivery driver, right? He drives a scooter. He died next to the scooter.
Yeah.
Just dropped dead. By the time they found him, he was already gone. The cops, they didn't even bother calling an ambulance, getting him help. No, he's dead. What do you think was the last thing that he did before being killed? He was filming the police. Again, just to be clear, he filmed this with his phone, and his wife gave it to the media. This is the last thing that he filmed.
Pouvoir la voir, qui nous a été donnée par la famille de Mohamed. Ce sont les dernières images tournées par Mohamed avec son.
So you can see it's just a short video. He's filming police that are at quite a distance from him. You know, like in the street. You know, people are. You have multiple French MPs or representatives who are, you know, they're outraged, and they're all saying like the police killed this guy, and they probably killed him because he was filming them, and they don't like them. You know, they don't like being filmed. I don't need to explain this to you. I showed you just a few moments ago some French policeman waving a flashlight in a journalist's camera so they can't film. That's a very mild example, but if you look at the Yellow Vest protests, I mean, they just like they beat on every moving thing.
They don't care.
You know,
They don't
journalist, not a journalist. It doesn't matter. They're going to beat the crap out of you.
Woman. Yeah, they don't care. And it's not just the French police that do this, right? I saw somebody, Senate girl, I think, said the French police are trained by US. And yeah, that's absolutely true. I have definitely heard that. And no, they don't fucking care. If you've ever been out in any kind of protest, frontline action, they just come in to mow your ass fucking down. And these non-lethal projectiles, they kill people. I mean, look what we saw during the Black Lives Matters in 2020. People losing their face, you know, their eyes. We've seen that multiple times. We saw that at No Dapple, non-lethal, right? And it just gives these cops a license to be fucking bullies, man. That guy was a delivery driver. You know, they were probably like, turn your phone off. And then they just beat the shit out of him and shot shit at him. You know, we see it over and over. They don't care if you're a journalist. They don't care if you're a woman walking to your fucking apartment and you just have to go down that street, or your car is parked over in that back alley and you're just trying to get through. They are there to mow your ass down and make sure you don't want to come back. And it's going to get worse. And that's the whole point of what Richie is saying is most of the public in France doesn't even know this shit yet because of the way they're controlling the media. And that's how they control us, with the media, right? So as this gets around, he thinks there's going to be a hell of a lot more protest. And yes, Oz, this is literally George Orwell's 1984. Yes, absolutely. It literally is. You're at war with Eurasia. Okay. Did you guys? Okay, so we've talked about this movie, right? The Sound of Freedom. Dude, they're doing some fucked up things to try to squash this movie. So Rolling Stone, of course, had to go out there and smear it. First off, The Sound of Freedom and the QAnon triggered thriller about child trafficking is designed to appeal to the coincidence of conspiracy added boomer. And then Oz, I love your numbers here. Yeah, they got ratioed. They got their ass ratioed. So what they're doing, not only did the Guardian, the Guardian wrote a smear piece. The Guardian wrote a smear piece, and so has Rolling Stone. Not shocked about this. These are shit-lib magazines. We've known this forever. They're hand in hand with the Democratic Party and those who we know, handle a lot of this trafficking around the world globally. And I'm on YouTube, so I'm being careful. But so people have been ordering their tickets online, and they were doing free tickets for some places. Like you could get a free ticket, a free pass. I actually went on and could have got tickets if I wanted to drive to the nearest AMC theater, which was like 100 miles away. So AMC is not happy that they're having to air this movie. And what they're doing is they are canceling people's fucking tickets 2-3 hours before the show. And then for the people, they don't send them an email. They don't tell them anything. When you go to get there, you get your ticket or get your ticket number, it just says, no, your money has been refunded. So these people go to the theater and they're like, well, what the hell? Why did you cancel it? They're like, well, because our air conditioner is not working very well and we didn't want you guys to be hot. So she was like, we don't care. We still want to watch the movie. They're like, okay, you can watch the movie. She said there was 8 people in the theater when it should have been hundreds of people in the theater. So that's just one of the ways that they are trying to crush this movie. And of course, a ton of smear campaigns. I'll check it out, definitely. And I love the burrito meme. We look like we're smoking a burrito, Oz. Let's smoke a burrito. I know the boomers out there listening, I'm sure. I hope that you're enjoying this show. Okay, so let's talk about TYT, and I've already covered this a couple of times during the week in my show. Of course, we have always shit on TYT here because they are gatekeeper shills that sold out and took Katzenberg money. We've called it out since day fucking one, and we were the ones that got attacked. How dare you attack TYT? They've got, Justice Democrats, and they helped get AOC elected. How dare you shit on? You guys are tearing the movement apart by calling out this bullshit. But anyways, Anna's had a little bit of a change of tune, and I can't say that I disagree basically with what she's saying, because I don't. I'm glad to see she's kind of getting red pilled and waking up a little bit. Or is she? And that's really what it comes down to. Or is she? But the hypocrisy of her saying the shit she said after all of the years of her calling Jimmy Dore and all of us doorknobs right wingers, right? You guys are right wingers. I'm not a fucking right winger. I'm not a left winger either. I'm not red MAGA. I'm not blue MAGA. I fly above the duopoly and see it for what it the fuck is. And she, I think, is still trying to get money. I think they're pivoting and trying to go conservative to get that money. Honestly, they know they can't do it from the progressive movement that's there now. So they have to pivot. They have to evolve or die. And I think that's what's going on here. But this is Turncoat Don. He's done such great work. Of course, he makes so much fun of them going after Jimmy Dore. I had to bring him. So this is the grifter, Jimmy Dore as the grifter.
China says the number of people infected by a mysterious respiratory virus,
a SARS-like virus, which has infected hundreds in China, has now reached the United States.
565 people are dead.
Less than a week later.
Spread of coronavirus in the U.S. appears inevitable.
Now makes the first coronavirus death confirmed in the U.S.
105.
Coronavirus is spreading, and America may be
declaring a national emergency.
Why are we going to give $500 billion to businesses who don't have any business? Do you see how corrupt our government is?
Yep.
No, just give the money to the people you want to have it. It's the same thing I said about when they bailed out the banks in 2009. And they gave trillions of dollars to the bank. Why don't they just give us the trillions of dollars? We'll put it in our bank. Why wouldn't you say every person with a social security number, you wire money into their bank account?
Grifter. Grifter.
Hey, this is the part where I tell you where our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then I would tell you to go join our premium, but nobody has a fucking job. So why don't you just enjoy the video?
Grifter. Scammer.
It's almost Christmas. Middle of a deadly pandemic, in the middle of the greatest economic downturn anybody's ever experienced in their lifetime. And he's still, give me more money, Mr. Gold-plated healthcare. Send me money. Not send money to AOC or Rashid or whatever. Send money to the Young Turks. I hope everyone sees what's going on. And I think they do. This is the part where I tell you where all our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then this is why I tell you to join our premium program and get extra content, but nobody's got a fucking job. So just enjoy the video.
Scammer. Robber, grifter, the devil, and a right-winger. Jimmy the Grifter Dore continues to urge his supporters to keep their money throughout the COVID pandemic. What a scumbag. That was funny. But this is what Anna has to say about it.
How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
You don't have to yell at Anna. We heard you already.
How do you know?
Just go. And now I had to bring the clip from Turncoat Don about Jimmy Dore. Glenn Greenwald kills this. Let's hear from Glenn.
This obsession with you, I don't mean with your strategy, but with you personally. There's like an entire, I think that like they're going to create a Pulitzer Prize soon called Pulitzer Prize for Excellence in Commentary on James Dore. It's like the entire fucking industry. Like a third of the left media talks about you personally, constantly, all the time. It reminds me a lot, in 2010, 2011, 2012, when WikiLeaks pioneered this really groundbreaking model of how secrets of the most powerful entities on the planet can be leaked and published. It found a major vulnerability in actual power it was incredibly innovating and inspiring and exciting and important. And within a short period of time, all anyone wanted to talk about was that Julian Assange was an asshole, that he had like an abrasive personality, that, you know, as though like the issue was, do you want to date him? And it just became like, no, that guy's a jerk. Who gives a fuck? Yeah, he is a jerk. Julian's a jerk in like a lot of ways, and like a lot of ways that I can be. You're definitely an asshole. Like, these things are not in dispute, but they're also totally irrelevant. If you're on the left, you have two choices. One is to try and think about how to fuck with Wall Street like that Reddit group just did, or to blow holes open in the walls of the NSA or the CIA like Edward Snowden and Julian Assange did, or try and take down the monopoly power of Silicon Valley like a lot of hardworking people are doing who care about those issues, including your good friend Matt Stoller. Or you can just like devote yourself to like internet gossip and bullshit chatter and like trivial personality disputes. That is super easy. And it's also profitable. People love to like hate. You stimulate hatred. Fuck Jimmy Dore. Fuck Jimmy Dore. Look at what he said. He put this guy on his show. What does that have to do with politics? You claim that you're interested in the working class. You claim you're interested in people's lack of healthcare coverage, in people's inability to get jobs, they have to live at home. Their communities are ravaged by joblessness and you're talking about Jimmy fucking Dore and whether or not he's a good guy or whether or not you like him, instead of the strategy that he pioneered that caused a huge debate about how to bring. If you're doing that, you are an absolute and complete and total coward and a fraud.
Yeah, totally. He killed it. And, you know, I take a lot of flack because I drop a lot of F-bombs, but I love the commentators that are real, that will drop an F-bomb. That's probably why I've loved Jimmy Dore for so long. And Glenn doing it, it's like, come on. Yes, go for it. And the graphics are off the hook tonight, aren't they, guys? I know, Jim. The video, the burrito video is perplexing. I know. That's why it had to come back. I got some new friends here I want to shout out. Robert Templeton, welcome. Zombie in the air, glad to see you. Let's see who else. I saw a couple of new names. We always welcome the new names. If you stick around Beauty and the Boomer, you will end up with a wrench. I know there was a few more in here. Dr. Nick, welcome. I saw Dr. Nick was in here. So Red Angel, you made it tonight. Good. Catalytic Centaur is here too. Chad Wilson's in the house. Let's see. I know there's so many new names. I'm so happy to see you. Dr. Nick Rivera, there you are. Welcome to the show. And yeah, this is what it is. It's just us talking shit about stuff and hanging out and having a good time. Yona. Yeah. Wadu, Ronnie, Radu. Okay, let's get moving. This deck is still huge and we haven't even made it halfway through it. So here we go. This is a good graphic Oz made last year. Come on, do it. Do what you're supposed to do. There it goes. Great graphic, Oz. Oz always bringing the best graphics. You know, we're going to go down memory lane here shortly. I went back and found a bunch of old clips and pictures. And yeah, we're going to talk about Beauty and the Boomer when we aired and how long we've been doing this. But let's hear from Sabby Sabs first. Of course, we cover Sabby Sabs every Saturday night. She killed it this week. Excellent interviews, excellent commentary. And we've been trying to get Sabby up to 50K subscribers over on the YouTube. And Oz has been monitoring this for a long time now, about 6 months. He predicted that she would be there, and she is getting pretty damn close. So if you haven't gone and followed Sabby, she's going to have Judge Joe Brown on tomorrow for a special Sunday 5 o'clock show. Check that out. And yeah, let's hear what Sabby has to say.
And RFK Jr. had some things to say about this. RFK Jr. said President Biden has appointed disgraced neocon Elliot Abrams,
not that creep,
to his diplomacy commission. Infamous for his support of El Salvador's death squads in 1980, Abrams was convicted in 1989 of lying to Congress about his criminal role in the Iran-Contra affair. So these people are just crooks. It's just from one crook to the next. These people are just crooks. So let's go on. He goes on to say, after being pardoned by George H.W. Bush, Abrams later went on to further hegemony as a key architect of the catastrophic invasion of Iraq as national security advisor to George W. Bush. So he went from one Bush to the other Bush.
Well, now he's with another Bush.
And now then he went to Trump. And now he's going to Biden. He continues, Abrams most recently served as Trump's envoy to Iran and Venezuela. President Biden has now recalled Abrams from exile with an appointment that will allow him to cause maximum damage to America's declining reputation across the globe. With this appointment, the marriage of the Biden administration and the neocons can be said to be consummated. There really is not that much different between Biden and Trump. There's
no. If anything, I think Trump would have probably not chosen. I mean, what did Trump do? Trump brought people like fucking Bolton in. What would have been a worse choice than Elliot Abrams? Maybe Bolton. I mean, when you look at, and you guys know, I do shows with Pasta. Of course, we do a show called To Hell and Back, where we've done some really deep dives into addiction because I'm a recovering opiate addict, and we have really dove into the Iran-Contra and the effects of that, the ripple effects, and how it stemmed so much, right? And then, of course, the School of the America, the death squads that we sent down there, that Elliot Abrams was a part of, and then he fucking laughs. Dude, he laughs the most evil, maniacal laugh when he is asked about the children who were killed under the boots of those death squads. And he just like, yeah, no, I didn't do anything wrong. It's so disgusting. Thank you, Sabi, for making me never lose my outrage, because, yeah, I'm outraged. Oh, God, I'm still outraged. Check this shit out. Ocasio-Cortez backs Biden for re-election. Now, I know you all saw this, and she happens to be the only waitress in history who brings absolutely nothing to the fucking table. And yeah, she is seen during a House Oversight Accountability Committee hearing to discuss fraud and waste in the federal pandemic spending on Wednesday. You mean like all of the shit you voted for? Yeah, that was fraud and waste. And let's see, Joe Crowley, now available and female. Yeah, you don't see her crying about the border nowadays, do you? No, she doesn't have a goddamn thing to say about the border nowadays. So I had to bring this CNN clip to you guys of her saying it. She said it. It came out of her mouth. So we're going to start the cream of bullshit segments. So cream of bullshit, this is your CNN cream of bullshit for the night.
I was struck today, the fact that Cornel West, who we know was a major surrogate, obviously, for Bernie Sanders, so was Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who today said she's supporting Joe Biden. Take a listen.
I think he's done quite well, given the limitations that we have. I do think that there are ebbs and flows.
Will you be supporting Joe Biden for re-election?
I believe, given that field, yes.
How significant is it that she is saying that at this stage?
Right. No, it's incredibly significant because in some ways it pulls a lot of her supporters in the direction of Joe Biden and away from thinking that maybe we should be looking at somebody else. Because look, Joe Biden.
Maybe we should be looking at Cornel West.
Maybe we should look at Cornel West. Look, a lot of folks will argue Joe Biden's numbers are soft. I don't think there is necessarily a concern that a lot of voters will go and vote for Cornel West, but it may tamp down turnout because you don't have that sort of movement candidate in a Joe Biden. And to everything you said, it's absolutely right. In terms of communities of color, particularly for the Black and brown communities, that Cornel West speaks to a lot of those concerns. Joe Biden needs to take some of that on the campaign.
Oh my God. So to that point that you're both
just got
making,
dropped.
She was then asked about Cornel West, and she referenced that. So I think we have that sound as well.
What do you make of Cornel West's campaign?
Who is this guy?
You know, I think Dr. West has an incredible history in this country. What he fights for, what he gives voice to is incredibly important. And the ability for us to talk about issues that, frankly, mainstream Democrats are often too afraid to touch.
I mean, Joe, that's essentially what you were saying. I mean, and you're both agreeing with each other, right? So what is the potential not just for Cornel West to maybe peel away some of those voters and maybe even beyond people of color, right? We're talking about working class voters, full stop, in this country who are looking for somebody to talk about their issues. Could he also pull some away from if it's a Donald Trump as the nominee?
Well, look, you see even now with somebody like RFK Jr., who is starting to attract some traction from some Republican voters. So there is a fervor in America for people who are willing to speak to the populist ambitions of the nation, but also the core bedrock actual deficiencies within our Main Street construct. So yes, I think if Dr. West was being wise, he'd probably just abandon everything he's doing everywhere and move to Iowa. There's a long tradition of grassroots support, particularly more in the populist and more liberal-leaning bent in those Democratic caucuses. So he should be going to all 99 of those counties and then go back again, then go back again. The South Carolina primary has already been rigged. Certainly Democrats trying to figure out
Did they just say that on CNN?
So there's not a lot of oxygen there where, again, they say
that's
they
right.
know
The Republicans
Joe.
were good,
I
so they
think
can
that's
say
where
that.
he could have some impact. But I think to your point, there is a broad consensus from all Americans that we want to have somebody that speaks to the fact that we're spending money on wars abroad. We're not dealing with the fact that we've got public housing in crisis here.
And Biden gives no shits about any of that. So, in one hand, they're saying that you're going to have to be in the Democratic Party. You're going to have to vote Democrat. But hey, they're not addressing any of this shit. The South Carolina primary is already rigged. I hate to break it to you, they're all already rigged. That's the way it works in this country. Okay, it's cream of bullshit. That was cream of bullshit, CNN. Here's cream of bullshit, Fox. I brought you guys Tulsi. I don't know. Is what she's saying cream of bullshit? Or it's just Fox cream of bullshit?
Tulsi Gabbard is a combat veteran and former congresswoman, and she joins me now. Tulsi, thanks for being here. I mean, it breaks your heart because you knew guys like this. I did too. They want to work. They want to earn. They believe they've achieved the American. They're safe. They're here. And then something like this happens. I mean, what does it tell you about the state of our cities?
Yeah, Pete, it is heartbreaking, and seeing his story is reminding me of the interpreters that we worked with in Iraq and their families. Look, this is the tragic consequence of the reality that for so long our leaders have been focused on governing and dominating and taking over other parts of the world and neglecting what's actually happening right here at home in our communities. They're focused on LGBTQ rights in Uganda or banning, threatening Mexico with sanctions if they don't buy our GMO crops, rather than focusing on, hey, let's secure our borders. Let's make sure that our streets are safe for people to walk down and to go to work. Let's make sure that we're taking care of the basic fundamental needs of our people right here at home, providing that safety, security, and freedom. That's what people like him looked forward to in coming to the United States.
That was the idyllic vision that every interpreter talked to me about in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yes.
They had a sense that the streets were paved with gold and you could achieve anything in America, and then they come and see this. You know, besides you, there are very few people who were in the Democrat Party who recognize this problem. Is there any chance there's a moment where leaders inside the Democrat Party say, we've lost control of these cities and we need to do something about it?
I'm sad to say, Pete, but no, I don't think so. And the reason is because they have become so blinded and consumed with their desire for power that they're not actually feeling and seeing what is happening in these communities. They turn a blind eye to things like this. They turn a blind eye to anything that's harming our communities, that's not politically convenient for them. And that's what's so heartbreaking about this, is this cold callousness, calculating decisions that are being made by so many of these Democrat leaders at the city level or state or federal level that really puts their self-serving interests and the self-serving interests of the Democrat Party ahead of their core fundamental, what should be their purpose, which is to serve the well-being of the American people.
So, lover or hater, Tulsi's on the mark with that. I don't know what's up with Tulsi. You know, we kind of predicted that she was pivoting towards more of a conservative run. You know, maybe she would show up in the Republican Party, but maybe she's just going to stay out of it and stay indie. I don't know, but I still support, a good bit of what Tulsi has to say. The only reason I was pissed at Tulsi is because she fucking endorsed Biden. I'm pretty sure that's what pissed me off. I mean, I'm sure she said a few things here and there, but I think the reason I was like, okay, she endorsed Biden, I'm done with that shit. Okay, now for the grand finale cream of bullshit, of course, it's MSNBS. They always win every week, and this week they bring the biggest amount of fucking bullshit. And so apparently the coup attempt on Vladimir Putin may have never ended. Did you hear this? This is such bullshit. Here you go. Propaganda, cream of bullshit.
It's already Saturday morning in Ukraine and Russia, where Vladimir Putin's illegal, murderous, and unprovoked war is now in its 500th day. Many didn't expect the war to last 500 hours, but 500 days later, the strength of the Russian army has been revealed to be an entire myth. The resolve of the Ukrainian people has been revealed to be unfathomably strong, and the iron grip that Vladimir Putin has had on power in Russia since the turn of the century has been weakened considerably. After all, it was just 2 weeks ago tonight that we were watching what appeared to be an attempted coup by the man nicknamed Putin's chef, the founder of the Wagner mercenary group, Yevgeny Prigozhin. And what's clear tonight? Well, we're not sure that coup attempt ever ended. The New York Times is reporting, quote, the mercenary leader Yevgeny V. Prigozhin is in Russia and is a free man despite staging a rebellion against Moscow's military leadership. The leader of Belarus said on Thursday, deepening the mystery of where Mr. Prigozhin and his Wagner group stand and what will become of them. A Pentagon official speaking on condition of anonymity to discuss sensitive intelligence said that the Wagner leader had been in Russia for much of the time since the mutiny, but the official said it was not clear whether he had been in Belarus, in part because Mr. Prigozhin apparently uses body doubles to disguise his movements. End quote. If you ask the Kremlin about this, it's much ado about nothing. Quote, the Kremlin spokesman, Dmitry S. Peskov, deflected a question about Mr. Prigozhin's whereabouts, saying that the government had neither the ability nor the desire to track his movements, end quote. Which is a wildly odd thing to say, because Russian intelligence does have the ability to track people's movements. It does it all the time.
What crazy fucking bullshit is that? That is some insane, intense fucking propaganda. I don't ever watch MSNBC or any of these channels, but you guys love the cream of bullshit segments. So I go dig through there, and it astounds me every week the propaganda that they're selling. They're so ratioed. I mean, go check on a CNN video. There will be literally thousands and thousands of comments, telling them how stupid they are. And then they're totally ratioed. always. They'll have 100K views and they'll only have 600 thumbs up. Like, it is fun. It's fun to actually sit there and look at that shit and laugh at them, because the only reason they're still alive is because they're corporate media and they're sponsored by, Pfizer. They're sponsored by the military industrial complex. They're sponsored by DARPA. Let's see here. This is just a reminder, guys, that we lost Ed Schultz 5 years ago. And let's never forget what MSNBS did to him. He tried to cover the Bernie Sanders campaign. They sabotaged him. They fired him from MSNBC. It was terrible. And of course, he got picked up by RT. Thank you for RT doing that, because he was an important voice to many of us. And I loved watching Ed. I was so heartbroken when we lost him. And I'm not convinced they didn't do something to cause his death, but that's my conspiracy. And Jane. And now it's time to go over the carefully selected stories that have been chosen to manipulate your emotions and thinking. Yes, thank you. And there they all are, right? All of the shit legacy media. They're all dying, though. They're all dying and they can't handle it. They got the stranglehold. Okay, so here we go. This is, I cut this in half for time because this is a 9-minute video, but I only cut it down to 4 minutes. And this is it's a bar graph of the richest people in the world from 1985 to 2023, but I started it at 2008. So we're going to go from the collapse of the banking industry, housing in 2008. And just check this shit out. It is so mind-blowing. See if I can make it bigger. There you go. Keep an eye on Louis Vuitton. There's no Elon on that list. There's no Zuckerberg either. Kind of loud. L'Oreal. Okay. Taj. Yeah. Respect that. Wordful. Oh, there goes the Koch brothers. Warren Buffett. Oh, Warren Buffett's starting to lose. Oh no, he's losing his money. Oh, here comes Bezos. Bezos just entered the list. Bernard Arnault he's losing money right now. Oh, Louis Vuitton's dropping. Oh, the Walmart brothers, they're climbing. Hey, look at the dates too. You can totally see when we're doing government payouts for these fuckers. Oh, here comes Zuckerberg. He's entered the race. Bezos. Bezos just jumped over the Koch brothers. Warren Buffett, he's climbing again. We don't like it when he loses money. Oh, Gates, he's just holding tight up there, isn't he? Aw, poor IKEA. You figured out your furniture was shit. This is obscene. I know. This is so fucking obscene. One fucked up horse race. I agree. I totally agree. Oh, here comes Bloomberg. Bloomberg had to get in it. So look, they're all losing their asses right now. 2018, they're losing their asses. They're losing their asses. Except for Amazon, of course. They're losing their asses. They're continuing to lose their asses. Oh, now we're gonna go back up. Now they're climbing. What happened in? Oh, look, it's 2019. Now watch over COVID. We're coming into the COVID era. Grow, 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 grow. Oh, they're growing. Oh, poor Carlos Slim. He's about to get knocked off the list. Louis Vuitton. Why is he doing so well during a fucking pandemic? Oh, now they're all losing. Oh man. COVID crisis is killing us. It's killing us. Look at the leaders leave so quick. Look at Elon. Elon just jumped the deck, frickin' jumped from the bottom to the fucking top. Oh, he's coming for Bezos. He's coming for you. That's all that military DARPA money. Boom, he just took it. Oh, no, Amazon took it back. COVID, COVID helped him out. Poor Bill Gates. Bill Gates needs to do something. I don't know. Engineer, a mass crisis. Oh, here comes Google. Now they're all losing money again. They're all losing money again. They lost a shit ton of money last year, except for Elon. That's not. Amazon's losing money. Let's see. Louis Vuitton just jumped the deck a little bit. Don't worry. Tesla's holding tight. Walmart's back in the play. Oh, here comes Koch brothers. They want more of this top leader money. And there you are. That was your leader holders as of the first quarter of this year. Isn't that fucking gross? That was so gross to watch. You literally could see when they were all losing money, then something happens. Look at look at the date. Oh, and then they're all getting money. Yeah, that was all of that wealth transfer up. So let's see just exactly what they're doing. Oh, I gotta go. Forgot I was in big mode. Let's see what they're doing with their money. And I think this is the top 3 on how they're spending their money. So you'll recognize all 3 of these names.
The founder of Microsoft made his fortune selling the MS-DOS operating system to computer manufacturers and copying many features of Mac operating systems to create Windows. This copycat's wealth is $114 billion, allowing him to become a great collector of expensive objects, such as a $30 million original Leonardo da Vinci manuscript and a large art collection, including a $30 million painting by Winslow Homer. Bill Gates is also the largest private farmland owner in the United States and has come under fire for hogging properties as big as Hong Kong. Quite a feudal lord. Gates is the founder of the Giving Pledge Initiative, which includes the commitment of several billionaires to donate at least half of their fortunes. And as a worthy spokesman, he has already donated $59 billion to the foundation that he co-chairs with his ex-wife Melinda, as they divorced in 2021. The foundation has also contacted vaccine manufacturing companies for children from poor countries, arousing suspicion since Bill Gates was quite apocalyptic during the pandemic. Do you think he's already working on the next pandemic? To prevent it, I hope. Number 3. Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos founded Amazon in 1998 when he still had hair, but now he owns just under 10% of the company. Bezos was the second man to have a net worth of $1 billion after Bill Gates. He was in all the headlines when he divorced his wife Mackenzie in 2019, transferring 4% of Amazon shares to her, which was equivalent to $19.5 billion, one of the most expensive divorces in history. But why it happened? It seems that it was because of the relationship between Bezos and the TV host Lauren Sanchez, the most expensive affair in the world. However, the pandemic saved his neck by raising the price of Amazon shares, so his net worth is now $120 billion. Bezos isn't a fool at all and is committed to the future. He's also the owner of the Washington Post and Blue Origin, which is an aerospace company that develops rockets. That's how he briefly flew into space in July 2021. I can't deny that I'd like to go with Jeff on one of those trips.
Fuck that.
Number 2, Elon Musk.
This guy is
Elon Musk sells companies to buy others. He sold his Zip2 program to develop X.com, the precursor to PayPal, which he in turn sold to eBay, and with this money, he became a major financier and then the director of Tesla. Currently, he owns 23% of the shares and has a wealth of $191.4 billion. Musk is also the founder of SpaceX, which is a space rocket company. Despite his millions, he's a rather austere and even stingy man. In 2021, after selling several properties, he moved to a 387-square-foot house. His $70 million private jet is likely to be his only extravagance. At the end of 2022, he agreed to buy Twitter for about $44 billion. Although he's now the boss of the network with the blue bird logo, all his attempts to get it to monetize have yet to be successful. Could it have been an investment with no return? If he continues this way, he'll have the same fate as his colleague Zuckerberg, who's no longer on the list, by the way.
Aw, poor Zuck.
If Zuckerberg isn't here, can you imagine who the richest man in the world is? To find out, we need to come to the country of elegance, France. Number 1, Bernard Arnault. Monsieur Arnault is the owner of Christian Dior, a company he bought after getting Ferris Savigny, his father's construction company, to go into the financial sector. He then bought Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, which in turn has luxury brands such as Givenchy and Bulgari. Pure elegance. In 2021, he purchased the American jeweler Tiffany & Co., where Breakfast at Tiffany's was filmed. This was the largest acquisition of a luxury brand in history since it cost $15.8 billion. Currently, Bernard Arnault's net worth is $214.5 billion. Ooh la la, how much money! But despite all these millions, the Frenchman with the most money in the world hasn't rested on his laurels. In 2019, he purchased the Belmond Luxury Hotel Group, which also has trains and river cruises for $3.2 billion.
That is just disgusting. Isn't that fucking disgusting? And yeah, I agree with you. Barbara C. I think that you look at Louis Vuitton and how quickly he took over that top spot in the last year, and you go, what the fuck is going on? These are these are brands, right, that he's buying up. Why? How does that give him power? I don't know. I think that trafficking probably is an underlying business there for sure. We know that it is a huge, huge fucking industry. And yeah, go pay attention to Whitney Webb and Johnny Vedmore. God, Johnny dropped an amazing article yesterday. Go read it. It's a precursor and the people around Epstein. This shit didn't stop. It didn't go away. It is a major, major moneymaker for these motherfuckers. They traffic in people. And we'll skip the who's behind the most expensive private jets. Maybe I'll bring that to Monday's show because it's a super long article. It is disgusting. I think you guys have had enough of the elites options tonight. And yeah, we'll get past it. Here is your last United spot of the night, and enjoy it.
Excuse me, sir.
Oh, it's a peasant! Oh! What do you want, peasant? Yeah, what do you want, poor person?
Please, sir. I want more.
What?
I want some more.
More what?
I've reached my reading limit. I want to see a tiny bit more.
Did you pay your $8?
No, sir. I don't have $8.
You don't have $8?
No, I don't.
Well, then you can't see more.
Please, sir. I want to see more.
Then give me my $8.
No! I don't have it, sir.
Then you won't see more.
Please, sir.
Silence! I should suspend your account for being poor.
Yeah.
I despise poor people.
Do it. It is beneath us. Please, sir. Don't suspend me. My Twitter account. It's all I have left.
Listen here, you little bug. Twitter is not for poor people. It's for rich and successful people like me.
Me?
We don't want you
Yeah,
here.
why don't you go to True Social with the other peasants? But I like it here. Can't I just see a little bit more?
That's it! Report him!
Suspend him!
Censor him and shadow ban!
No!
If you think we got this wrong, you can submit an appeal. Have a good day, peasant.
United spot. Always making us laugh. Make sure you're following them. Okay, I don't want to start over. Just go to the next one. Love that reface. That was a great reface. I don't remember what that is, but check this one out. This is one of my favorite refaces of all time. It's Problem Child Oz. And every time you have the courage to speak out against tyranny, you give another person the courage to do the same. And I know all of you in all of the chats, that is you. We help move this message and wake people up to the truth of what their government is doing in their name. Now, Oz, I forgot to ask you. So scientists believe that they have determined when the sun will explode, killing all life on Earth. When? When is it? I put that on the deck, but I'm not sure what day. If I find out what day, I'll let you guys know. And you communists just want to kill the rich people and steal their property. You got me there. You did get me there. The reason we had the sun stuff on the deck, there's a bunch of solar flares coming at the Earth, right? But if you pay attention to the space weather, it's not that bad. People are freaking out there, acting like, the power grid's going to get knocked off. But they say that the sun's going to be at its solar maximum in 2025. I've brought you guys reports on that. And yeah, I keep an eye on it. Every morning I get up, I listen to the sun report. I see if it's spitting shit at us, because mostly I just want to see the northern lights, to be quite honest with you. And not that I'm scared of our sun or anything. United spot, they're good. Okay, guys, let's take a trip down memory lane. Of course, this is the B&B time machine. Oh, I remember making this. That was such a good fun graphic to make. Now, these are old. These were put on the deck, I think, last year when we were celebrating maybe our 2-year anniversary, whatever we were doing. Oz and the ice cream cone. God, you guys love that one. Oh, it's so creepy. Gross. And then, of course, a family portrait. Oz, I remember your Mohawk days. Who puts the dim in dementia? Well, we know who puts the dim in dementia. We live it every day. Oh, that one we're not able to see it. That sucks. But our very first B&B aired on 8/22, and of course YouTube is punking that video. They constantly do that to us. So a bunch of these videos on here are not going to show up. What is going on here? Yeah, there's a few that are showing up though. We'll check those ones up. You can see which ones are airing out, and that is probably because they were videos that YouTube has stricken down or that we have taken down for some reason. Copyright strikes, that type of thing. But let's check this one out. What are we doing in this one?
Never. They didn't then, and they didn't in 2020.
Check out Oz's
and
hair.
They're not in the future ever going to let the progressives take over their party. Their number one goal is to stop progressive ideas in the Democratic Party. It's not beat the Republicans. It has nothing to do with fighting Republicans. It's about fighting the progressives.
Yeah, that's still true. And of course, Larry Oz from Three's Company, one of my faves. And then Jim Valley. Hey there. Ernest. And then what is that? Armageddon, because I'm a genius. Gosh, this thing's locking up on me. What do we got here? That one's, there's a lot of them YouTube doesn't let us play. What the hell are you, Oz? I remember that. They're coming here. They're coming here. They're coming here. Oh, that's too funny. From Africa, from South America, angelic forces, angelic reinforcements. Go, Oz, go. Oh, now he's voguing. Who's the guy? I don't know who he is. He's not even based. That was hilarious. We've had so much fun over the years doing this show, and so creative. Everybody's so creative. Oh, I think I got one more here. Let's see if these ones play.
Little bit you had when you voted for Joe Biden. That's.
Oh, that one didn't play very long.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You have a turkey on your head,
Fifth
Oz.
place, and the woman who couldn't even win her own state. I mean, the person, whatever. This is
Thanksgiving
bullshit.
Show.
Bullshit. I mean, you know, you can't give up.
Okay, let's hear what this one is.
I just.
Oh
you know,
my
if you
gosh,
want to go
he's
to
got
war,
a
it's like this guy
Spockhead
right
on.
here. You know, this guy is the one that's. No, not so much, Chanda.
Oz evil.
Evil Oz. Evil. Chanda, of course, you're the voice of sanity down there. No, thank you.
Why do I look like Ivanka Trump?
I don't know. You look like Romy and Michelle's girl. What's her name? That was.
Mira Sorvino?
Yeah, Sorvino. That's who you look like there, kind of. You know, you are a movie star. So.
Wow, I can't believe I pulled that out of my mind as hard as I've been hitting the electric vape.
Well, at least I'm honest, right? I've been getting stoned on Saturday nights for a while. Here's a collage of some of Oz's best outfits. Oz always killing it with the outfits when we used to dress up. And I love the Pippi. That was a good one. The I Dream of Jeannie. Love the I Dream of Jeannie. Of course, Pirate Oz. You had Roadie Oz. Let's see what else is in here. That one with the bottom. I don't know. He had Christmas lights wrapped around buns in his hair or something. Oh, and then Chucky. Of course, he's got the red hair there. We've had so much fun on this show. We're going to keep having fun on this show. We're just getting better at it. Our graphics are getting better. And yeah, we're going to stick around. As long as you guys show up, we're going to keep doing it. So we appreciate you guys allowing us to continue to do this. Of course, our anniversary is August 22nd. That'll be our 3rd year of Beauty and the Boomer. And we're going to be down at the Land of Oz for the week before that. So we're going to have lots of videos, lots of cameos, lots of fun stuff going on. And we're going to have a blast. So I'm excited for that. And that's right before the Boomer's birthday, too, just so you know. Okay, Stoner Corner, guys, we're running a little long. We've got an amazing outro. Oz made us an outro. He may be down and out, but he still loves us enough to make us some kick-ass music. So we're going to go out with a great outro, but let's finish up Stoner Corner. Modern day roaches. Oh, God, yes. I keep all of my pin ins. And at the end of the month, man, I'm charging those suckers up and seeing if any of them hit. Let's see. I love nature so much. What a beautiful day. That bird works for the CIA. Yeah. If I smoke only half the joint, I'm okay. But if I smoke the whole thing, I'm talking to Brad. Stoners, you can't overdose on weed. It's literally impossible. Me and the boys trying anyways. Yes. We used to have a gas mask, like literally a gas mask, man. You want to get ripped out of your mind, try a gas mask. And let's see. The Boomer's not here, so I had to throw some Gen X humor on the deck. Gen X, the only generation to become 30 at the age of 10 and still is 30 at 50. And if you ever played on this spike-causing, concussion-giving, bone-breaking, kid-rocketing, launching hunk of metal and survived, you are a true warrior. And yes, we have some true warriors in the chat. I know we do. Okay, here we go. Hollywood. Journey has never won a single Grammy. Kanye West has won 22. That tells me all I need to know about the Grammys. True. Huge shout out to those that danced near the speakers in the 90s. I totally danced near the speakers in the 90s. And Rob Schneider on SNL. Much late night comedy is less about being funny and more about indoctrination by comic imposition. People aren't really laughing at it as much as cheering on the rhetoric. It's no longer resembles a comedy show. It's more like some kind of liberal Klan meeting. That's a good one, Snyder. That was funny. Okay, what do we got? Oh, I brought this little old one. This is Nirvana. This is Kurt Cobain. They're standing on I think like Pier 50 in Seattle on the water, and he's talking about these elites that do horrible things to people and that he knows about it. And this was in the early 90s, guys.
Still Cambridge Island. That's where she was institutionalized, right over there. It was just all broken down, like infirmary there.
For years, every night there were lines of custodians, friends, and people, you know, part of the staff who would wait in line to rape her every day. You know, she went through a lot of shit. And it just disgusts me, you know, to know that there are some of the people that are part of that conspiracy are living here in Seattle in their comfortable, cushy little homes with their families. And, you know, it's 40 years after the fact, and it's just
makes me want to kill.
And infamous words of Kurt Cobain, humans are stupid and I'm ashamed to be human. And I'll tell you what, at this time on planet Earth, I absolutely agree with him 100%. So message to the boomer, get well, boomer. We missed you tonight. I made it through, but I have so much more fun when you're here. I love the back and forth. I never really wanted to do a solo show. I've kind of just ended up doing it, but I absolutely have a blast when I'm with the boomer. You know, we always say to each other, I don't care about any other show we do. Beauty and the Boomer's our show. Like if I quit doing one show, I quit doing another show. We both love Beauty and the Boomer. We will never give it up. So these are two of my favorite refaces of Oz over the years. Of course, Goodfellas, Ray Liotta, rest in peace, and Hunter S. Thompson. Let's see, that's Johnny Depp. Yeah, great ones. Would like some blow, man. Yeah, I can actually quote both of those movies, probably word for fucking word. One more. I don't see Oscars. I just see Epstein Island visitors. And let's hear a final message from Pasta.
Зацвіли каштани над Дніпром, і буском духмяним вітер віє. Всі кияни йдуть на гідропарк. Гідропарк – це наша славна мрія.
Pasta out there traveling the global south. I'm glad to see he's picking up a little bit of Spanish after all this time. And we're going to end on this. Name this band. Yeah, name this band. What would this band be called? I call them the Whiners. How about the Imposters or the Propagandists? I like the Propagandists. I think I'm going to stick with that. And I love that meme. Oz's head. Off with his head, right? That's the way it is. Okay, I think we're getting there. Oh, god damn it, I got one more. One more, and this one's funny, and then we're out of here. Remember that lady that was on that plane screaming this week? I covered it. Well, I think we figured out who she was screaming about.
I'm telling you, I'm getting the fuck off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the fuck off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two fucks, but I am telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can fucking die with him or not. I'm not doing that.
That's fucking hilarious. We know he's not real. We've been telling everybody this for a long time, right? That was funny. Okay, when the internet goes down, will you draw me a meme, please? Please. I'm going to miss memes the most, but you could just draw me one. And gardeners for good. Plant a row or a container of vegetables in your garden this spring and give away this harvest to those in need. Yes, I am actually out there doing that. Julian Assange Awards for Journalism. Of course, we support Julian Assange, free Julian Assange. And yeah, I'll have an update on Monday what's going on with Assange because I haven't really covered it in a while. Some of the great art from years gone by on Beauty and the Boomer. Of course, Hot Summer Nights. Hot Summer Nights have had some really great covers. And oh, I gotta play this.
Good night, Peggy.
Good night, peasant.
Abajit.
Come on.
Good night, peasants.
Do we have to do it twice? Okay. I think this is our closer. Pretty sure. I don't want to mess it up, so I'm going to make sure I come out of it. Yeah, that's it. I just want to make sure. Okay, Oz has worked hard on this. You guys have been great tonight. I have had a blast running this show on my own. I can't believe I did it. I did a Beauty and the Boomer by myself. And I want to call out the Super Rays over on the Rokfin A-Rim. All the best. Thank you so much for Saturday Night Live. Thank you. You guys I thank you. I think I have another one on here from Gregory. Let me see. Oh, Ronnie Graham. Don't vote RFK. He's gonna Bernie you. I'm not in the U.S., but I'd blame the U.S. for me paying 3 times more for energy than I was before. You blame us. It's our goddamn fault. It's our fault, especially if you're in Germany, and Germany's going to feel bad this winter. Hang tight for all of our peeps across the pond. I know there's a lot of you that tune in, and you guys are suffering just as bad as we are under this crippling oligarchy that we find ourselves under. And thank you guys so much. I had so much fun. And hey, Kick. Thanks for hanging out. I enjoyed having you, and Rumble, whoever's on the Rumble, and out there in the land of Oz for Twitter. You are in Germany, Catalytic Centaur. I know a bunch of you are. A bunch of you are in Germany. We have some in the UK. Like, we appreciate you. Scotland. I mean, we appreciate you tuning in because Americans don't look at foreign policy enough. And we live in our stupid little American bubble, and we don't realize that when we're getting burned to the ground here, you guys are really getting burned to the ground there too. So we'll cover more of that if you join me on Monday for Trailer Park Pundit, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I hang out. I do the same thing here. We just do it at the trailer park. So thank you so much for joining Beauty in the Trailer Park tonight. And Oz the Boomer will be back as soon as he's well. And we'll just keep doing the show till he gets back. So thank you so much. And Oz, thank you for this beautiful closer tonight. It's a little melancholy just because, hey guys, we're living in some fucking tough times, and we got to draw that line. Hashtag impeach Biden now. We got to start doing something. This is getting insane. Have a good night.
Made to wave the flag. Western world, it is exploding, violence flaring, bullets loading. You're old enough to kill, but not for voting. You don't believe in war, but what's that gun you're toting? And even the Jordan River has bodies floating, but you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Don't you understand what I'm trying to say? Can't you feel the fears I'm feeling today? If the button is pushed, there's no running away. There'll be no one to save if the world in a grave. Take a look around you, boy. It's bound to scare you, boy. And you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Yeah, my blood's so mad, feels like coagulating. I'm sitting here just contemplating. I can't twist the truth, it knows no regulation. Handful of senators don't pass legislation, and marches alone can't bring integration. When human respect is disintegrating, this whole crazy world is just too frustrating. And you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Think of all the hate there is in Red China. Then take a look around to Selma, Alabama. You may leave here for 4 days in space, but when you return, it's the same old place. The pounding of the drums, the pride and disgrace. You can bury your dead, but don't leave a trace. Hate your next door neighbor, but don't forget to say grace. Tell me